alright, welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, I'm Cecilia Jo, and today I want to try and get some books read off my TBR so that I can make some room on my TBR for new books next year. And yeah, I just want to get some read, so I thought I would just do a little video getting some books ticked off for 2023. And yeah, so I'm in a very rare mood this morning. So I recently finished reading Happy Place and I really enjoyed it. The vlog is out for that. The sort of reading vlog is out for that if you fancy giving it a watch. But yeah, I really enjoyed it and it's put me in a bit of a romance mood, which honestly I feel like I'm never really in a romancy mood. Sometimes I'll read them and I'll enjoy them, but it's not very often that I'm like, I really want to read a romance. So yeah, very rare occasion, but I am in that kind of mood today. So I decided I'm going to read the second one in the Chestnut Spring series, which is Heartless by Elsie Silver. So I did read Flawless, is that the first one? And I really enjoyed it. So Flawless is about Rhett and Summer, and Rhett is a bull rider, I think. And I think is she his daughter's, his agent's daughter? Yeah. The rules are simple, keep your hands off my daughter. Yeah, he's a bull rider and he went a little bit off the rails, and she was sort of meant to be like a publicist type thing. I think that's what it was, and then, you know, whatever happened. So this one is Heartless. I think this is following Rhett's brother. I think each book is about one of the brothers. That's what I'm assuming. So this is a nanny and a single dad. Working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't keep my eyes off him and he can't keep his hands off me. It's also an age gap. It's 13 years, but I'm hoping that the ages aren't like weird ages, you know. I feel like age gaps gotta be done at a right age, you know. She's like not 17. That would be awful. If she's like 19 and he is 13 years old, what does that make him? 29, 32? I don't know, 19 seems really young to be in an age gap romance. So I'm hoping that she's going to be in like her mid-20s. I think that would be better, and then he's obviously in his late 30s. Hopefully that's what the ages are, but we'll see. But yeah, I feel like I've not really read, I've read nanny ones and I've read single dad ones, where obviously a nanny wouldn't be sort of a nanny if the person didn't have a kid. That would then be weird. But I feel like I've not read one for a while, so I'm looking forward to it. I am a bit of a sucker for a cowboy romance in a little small town. So yeah, I'm excited to read it. It is quite a chunky book, especially for a romance. So it's at 432 pages. I've also noticed at the end she's got a Heartless playlist. I might have to have a look at that. Maybe I'll have a little listen whilst I read. But yeah, so 432 pages, quite a chunky book, but I am looking forward to it. These books are also on Kindle Unlimited, so maybe if I'm like, it's taking me a while to get through it, maybe I'll start reading it on my Kindle, because I always read quicker on there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the age gap is good, and yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm about probably halfway through, I think, the book. I've started reading it on my Kindle and I'm getting through it so quickly. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's making me like sit here and I'm like giggling at the two leads like bickering with each other. So we've got Cade, who is a single dad. I think he's in his mid-30s. I want to say he's like 38, something like that. And he's got a little 5-year-old son, Luke, who is so cute and he seems so funny. It makes me feel really excited for when my little nephew gets that old, like, and he can start, you know, interacting with us a bit more, because he's only a little baby right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It makes me feel like excited about it. But yeah, back to the book. So we've got Cade and his son Luke, and they're looking for a nanny, and all the people, the sort of women that they've interviewed so far, just want to get near Cade because he's like a good looking cowboy. And yeah, they all are not really that fussed about Luke, or it doesn't come across very well, and they just fancy Cade. But then Summer, who I mentioned from the first book's best friend, Willa, she is a bartender, but the bar that she works at, which is a brother's, is being renovated for the summer, so she hasn't really got much to do. She doesn't really need the money. She's got like 2 famous parents, but she just wants something to do to be like productive, a kind of purpose for the summer. So Cade ends up hiring her as the nanny, even though they have like a bit of an awkward meet. Not really a meet cute, definitely not. Just like the first time they meet each other before they both know that that's the potential employer and a potential employee. They sort of have quite a funny like awkward meeting, and yeah, it sort of goes from there. It follows them. So I think he's 38 and she's 25, so it's like a good age for age gap. It's not like weird, doesn't make it, you know, me feel a bit uncomfortable. So yeah, I think it's a really good age gap. I think those two are really cute together. They just seem to like bicker a lot, because he obviously doesn't want to cross that line with it being his son's nanny, and tries to like pretend that he doesn't like her when really like can't keep his eyes off her, that type of thing. So yeah, it's very cute. It's nice to sort of be back in the world. I don't remember loads from Powerless when I didn't remember loads from Powerless when I started this, but it's kind of coming back to me now when Rhett comes into it and Summer comes into it, and then the other brothers do, and the dad, and yeah, it's all sort of coming back to me a little bit. So it's nice to be in that world again with like the same characters. I know after this one is 3 more books, I'm pretty sure it is. Reckless, I think Hopeless is the newest one, and then another one in between that I'm not sure what the name is of that one. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it so far. It's very cute. It's making me like giggle. I think it's more the bickering that's making me giggle, and she's like really witty and smart, and her like comebacks make me laugh. So it's more that that's making me giggle than like the cute romance, you know. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. I'm like really invested. I think I'll get it finished today, because like I say, I'm reading it on my Kindle and I'm just getting through it so quickly. So yeah, I think I've got, it's like 2 or 3 hours, something like that, left to read on my Kindle. So I'm doing very well, getting through it. Book ticked off on my TBR, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm just gonna sit here and read some more and see how far I get, and I'll probably update with like my thoughts and feelings and rating and stuff when I've finished. So yeah, let's get back into the book. Okay, I've just got sort of over the 200 mark, well, a good few pages over the 200 mark, and he's like looking after her. She's not very well at this point, and he's sort of looking after her, holding her hair back while she's sick, and getting her like some tablets and some water. And as much as in real life that is like the bare minimum, she's looking after him he's looking after her while she's not well. It reads very like, whilst it's in a book, it sounds very cute, and it's like, oh, he's looking after her, it's so cute. Do you know what I mean? Like, it comes across just very loving, especially when the character is this like masculine, like surly cowboy that like doesn't like to show his feelings, doesn't even like to like laugh in front of people, because he don't want to show any kind of emotion. He's very closed off to the world, but very like protective of his family and the people that he loves. So yeah, is this very much like, I don't know, you know what I mean, like a very standoffish man if you don't know him, and then he becomes this like softie when Willa's around, and like I say, looking after her, and she's been looking after his son because his son's not been well, which has then made her not well. So yeah, it's very cute. It makes me have all the warm and fuzzy feelings. So yeah, that's where I'm up to at the moment. I just wanted to do a little update of that. I love when the character, like, I love when it's a character that is one person with everyone else, like gives everyone else one version of themselves, and then is the sort of love interest gets to see like a deeper side of it, you know, a softer side that not everyone really gets to see. I love that. I think it's very cute. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. Okay, I've just finished Heartless. That was so cute. I enjoyed it so much. I've just sat here for a few hours and I've just read, and I didn't even film myself. I was just so invested in the story, and I just really enjoyed it. I just loved escaping for a little bit and just reading it. It was so good. It was just very cute, very wholesome, and I love the 2 leads, Cade and Willa. I feel like they were just, obviously the characters, but they were just made for each other, and I just really enjoyed it. I actually feel like I want to start the next one now, but I don't want to give myself like too much romance, like cowboy romance to read, and then I won't enjoy the next one as much because it's too much, you know what I mean? So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I read it, most of it on my Kindle, because it is on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if I said that before, but yeah, it is on Kindle Unlimited. I love that the age gap was like good ages. I love that she could like hold her own and she could have a laugh with them all of the like brothers. I love the sort of whole aesthetic of like cowboy and horse riding and stuff like that. I think maybe because you don't really see it over here, that it just seems like something from a different place, you know what I mean? It's just something really to escape from, because you don't really see cowboys over here, like in England. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I am excited to read the rest of the series. So it did say, oh, on my Kindle it says, so Powerless, is that the first one, Powerless? So we've got Reckless, Flawless and Hopeless left to read. So I do have Reckless and Flawless, I think, but I don't have Hopeless. Yeah, I think that's the newest one. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend this series. I think it's very cute. I mean, like I said, I've only read the first two, but the first two I've enjoyed. I loved as well that it was like a single dad, and I feel like it was just done really well, like really enjoyable. It wasn't like the kid was really cute, Luke. I felt like he was really good, and just a really like cute, funny, like smart kid. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't always like kids in books. Sometimes I find it a little bit annoying, but no, I thought it was written really well. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I've still got some time left in the day to read, so I think I've got some bits to do, so maybe I might do on an audiobook. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and let's see what I'm going to read next. Okay, next up I've decided I'm going to finish Matthew Perry's autobiography. So I have been listening to it on Audible, and I was listening to it last week and I kind of just not carried on with it, so I am going to finish listening to that today. I think I'm about halfway through it. But yeah, so Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing, which is his autobiography, I'm enjoying it so far. I think I do love listening to audiobooks of memoirs when the author themselves are reading it. I think it really adds to the story, because they know, like, they have the memories of what they're talking about, so I think it really adds to it. And yeah, he does read his own book, so I'm loving that on Audible. I think some hard bits are sort of not necessarily hard to listen to, but it's definitely different, I would imagine, listening to it now than if I'd listened to it like a few months ago before he had passed, because he talks like about dying, and obviously had like a drug problem, and like he starts the book off with saying something like, I should be dead. Let me find what he says. So he says, and I should be dead. If you like, you can consider what you're about to read to be a message from the beyond, my beyond. So it's just, some things are a little bit like, I don't know, I'd imagine, like I say, it's different if I'd read it a few months ago to what I'm reading it now. But yeah, I am enjoying it. I think I read Britney Spears' one recently, and I do think it's really eye-opening listening to someone that is sort of in, I don't know, on TV, or like a celebrity that you don't really know anything about what's going on behind the scenes until they openly talk about it. I do think it's very eye-opening, and sort of a lot of stuff you don't really know what's going on, or you can like pinpoint things and you think, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the paper, and it being told so different to what actually happened, you know. It's just like a headline and then people run with it, and actually a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes at that point. So yeah, I do love a good memoir, and like I say, I'm enjoying it so far. I think I'm about halfway through. I've probably got about 4 hours I think left on Audible. But yeah, the actual book itself, the physical copy of the book, has got all pictures in, which obviously you don't see like when you're listening to it. And I didn't realise that until now, until I've started like skimming through it, which is very cute, so you can sort of see him like growing up. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to listening to the rest and sort of seeing what he was going through at that time. And yeah, just carry on listening to it and see where it goes. I mean, it's weird to say see where it goes because you kind of know where it's going with a memoir, because you know, like, he's going to talk about friends at some point, and then he talks about his drug problems. I enjoy the fact that the book is sort of, it's written in a way where he talks about his life, like where he started from in acting and like going forwards. It's like in chronological order, but then there's like interludes where he'll talk about what he was going through like more recently, like just before he like read the book, when he was like having to have like surgery from drugs and stuff like that, and what he was going through and feeling like his addiction really like taking over and sort of tricking people into, you know, giving him more drugs than what he actually needed because he was saying he was in pain and stuff like that. So I really like the fact that you're getting both like sides. It's not just from him being born and then it leads all the way up. There's like interludes in it, and I think it breaks the story up really well, sort of his own life story. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to this whilst I get some work done, and I probably will get it finished today. And yeah, let's just carry on reading or listening. Okay, so I just finished Friends, Lovers and The Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I actually listened to the whole thing on Audible. I feel like it's such a good book, and it's so like moving, and it's really sad that at the end he just sounds so like hopeful and so sort of ready for his next chapter, where he's, you know, he's overcome his addiction and he's, you know, after so many times, and he just sounds really hopeful, and he's sort of found God again and his best friend, and you know, he stopped smoking, and it's just, he just sounds really ready for what's next. And it's sad that we don't get to see what that is, but yeah, I really enjoyed listening to his story, listening to him tell it sort of from his point of view and just go through his life. It sort of gives you an insight more into what he was going through, what it's like to have an addiction, and not only have an addiction but also have an addiction in the public eye, and having to go through sort of everything that he's gone through really, and everything with his relationships. And he's obviously got a lot of childhood trauma, and he didn't think he was good enough, and you know, would leave, sort of end relationships before someone could leave him type thing. So yeah, very moving, very sort of traumatic. A lot has happened in his life and he's had to overcome a lot, and obviously a lot of it, you know, self-inflicted, as he says, like over and over again. Like, he chooses the first drink, but every drink after that is not his choice, because that's where his addiction comes in. But yeah, it's awful that, you know, people have to go through that, but I feel like now I need to read something happy. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. It's definitely a book I would recommend if you want to, you know, read a memoir, if you want to get more into them. It's definitely one I would recommend. So yeah, that is the end of today's video, ending on a little bit of a melancholy note, but I would definitely recommend listening to it. I think it's a really open and honest memoir. I know that's what they're meant to be, but I just feel like it is really honest, like he goes into a lot. So yeah, anyway, that is the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, I will see you in a bit.